Good evening. It's been a minute since I made a video. I was sort of offline down south. But we're here now. So let's do a little love reading. I'm Jenny Steele Payne of Tarot Like a Viking channel. I changed the name because Steele Payne is very hard to spell for people when you're out and about. And yeah, it just seemed like, I got the Viking vibe. I'm a Viking. So yeah. Some of you out there are going to think this is so funny, but it is fantastic. Okay, so straight off the bat, we pulled the Eight of Swords and the Four of Cups, okay? Look at that card, the Eight of Swords. That's, there's a mirror. There's a mirroring effect. So there's some learning happening. There's some things. Swords are the thoughts and the ways that we do things. And so we can get bound up. You see, she's bound. She's bound up in there, right? We can get bound up in our thoughts, okay? And then Four of Cups. We've got the Four of Cups. And the Four of Cups is like, sort of like, you just want to rest. It feels like, I don't know. Like, this is like somebody like, I don't know if I can do this. I feel vulnerable and I don't know if I can do this, right? So let's see. Because that doesn't feel good. That's like that, the brain starts to go into action, whenever love is involved, which it should be just generating from here. But unfortunately, this wants to turn on. And this is never right. I don't know, never, but okay. And then we've got the Knight of Pentacles and we've got the Hermit. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay. So I understand this feeling like this is a love reading. It's like, I don't know if I can do this, right? But what is on its way, if you can understand that there's a beautiful thing headed your way that's, coming, it's there, See that enlightenment, the Hermit? Do you see that? How the person is exalted and the light is shining, and there's, just beautiful peace that is found if you can understand what is there, okay? But I understand this. Like, I don't know, I don't know if I can do it. It's a lot. I have a lot of like memories in my mind. I was just having this conversation tonight, so it's it's not surprising that would come out. But it is worth it. To whoever needs to hear that, it is worth it. And of course you can do it. This is a great exercise. This is the time. Like, okay, can you walk the walk? Like, you want what you want. We all want relationships. We all want these things, but do we have the strength? Do we have all the tools? Maybe you don't. Maybe you can't, maybe it is too much for you. And I certainly understand that position from people. Maybe you haven't healed enough from the past. And can you, because you shouldn't start with someone if you are holding on to past things. It's very difficult. Very difficult if you want it to be, but also we can use the words. It's very easy to let go of it and allow space for new experiences. And look at things with fresh eyes, like a child almost, like be excited instead of like holding on to so many things. Okay, let's see. It's going to give us any more messages. We give thanks for these beautiful messages and woof. Okay. Well, okay. I was going to say it's too many. It's 3. I usually take 3. But what we got, which doesn't surprise me, is we got the Lovers card, we got the Strength card, and we got the Knight of Wands. And so, I mean, come on. Can't make this up. The Lovers card, look how beautiful. Partnership, and the Strength card. So whoever it is, that's hearing the message, you absolutely have the strength, and the Knight of Wands is like, see how she's joyfully, she's playing. Wands are creative energy, and there's a horse in the background, galloping, playing. Horses bring the messages in, the horses bring the abundance, in. And wow, like, are you kidding me? The Lovers card with the Strength card, you're being divinely guided. I mean, this is like God having your back right here for sure. Like, it's not like, it's not up for discussion. It's not up for discussion, Why I wanted to change the name to the channel name to Tarot Like a Viking is like, the Vikings, they were fierce, they were brave. There was no like hem-hawing around and like, oh, do I want to do this? I don't know if I can do this. Like, no, man, they were brave. They just did stuff. I want that. I'm getting that, right? They just did it. And the Knight of Wands, is that finding that courage in your life again, finding that, like, that being a knight, a knight. Knights went out. Knights were like given special distinction, right? So find that within yourself, like find that, and don't. Man, especially when people get to be my age and they have relationships that haven't worked out, like it's super difficult because you think, well, but this feels like this and this looks like this and this, but it's all coming from you. In the same way that you can like access insane memories, because memories are now gone and they're not real anymore. If you want to keep accessing them, then you can keep being insane, or you can say, what do I want? How do I want to see this? How do I want to have the experience of doing that? Be brave, come on. The Vikings got in ships and sailed off. They didn't know if they were going to have food, water, anything. They didn't know, They didn't know anything. They just lived. That's why to change the name of the channel, just live. Seize all the opportunities you have. Don't get involved in the right and the wrong and the how. How is it going to happen and how can it possibly happen? All right, let's see. Are there any more? I'm going to pull from the Surrender deck. I want to pull from the Surrender deck. So yeah, I get the feeling, but you've got to overcome it because you'll never get that with what you want if you aren't willing to give that. So you'll never get a fresh, new, secure relationship if you're not willing to be fresh and secure, and and do not try and get into a relationship if you're all still jacked up and you've got issues or whatever, especially if you've got substance issues, or if you're still reaching outside of yourself to calm yourself and be at peace with. If you can't do that within yourself and love all this, don't try and be in a relationship. It's not the time. It's not the time. You know that instinctually. Yeah. You got to be whole. You got to be, not like 100%. I'm not, but you got to, okay. Surrender to Spirit is the card we got. Once you've done everything you can to achieve a goal, turn the situation over to the divine. let spirit work its magic for you. Yeah, don't get involved in the, I don't know if it can happen. I don't know how it can happen. I don't know if, blah, 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 blah. Just go with it, man. Because you could never, all right, you and your beady little brain could have never imagined 10 years ago where you'd be right here, right now. You could you have made that story up? No, you had no idea. It wasn't like a plan. Even if you had a plan, it would have deviated and done its own thing. Everything is divinely orchestrated anyway. So why get involved? Why not just be like, you know what? This person that's in front of me, this feels good. I'm going to do this right now. I'm going to focus on the right now with this person. I'm not going to project into the future. I'm not going to access all of my wisdom from my failed past relationships. You weren't even that person. You weren't the person you are now then. So how can you pull that information back into your life and apply it? You can't do that. You can't do that. You are a different person attracting the things in the state you were then. Now you are this person, whoever that is. I'm not even saying good or bad, right or wrong. You're this person, and this is fresh. So all things are possible in a way that they have always been, and they always will be. All things are possible. And enjoy the process. Okay? Okay. Certainly there is some wisdom that you have to call upon in ways, processes. Take your time to get to know a person, that kind of thing. But that is vastly different than being in having a person in front of you and then thinking there's this amazing future ahead of you, or a person in front of you and thinking this couldn't work. I don't know what they're doing with me. Deconstructing it that way, like that's vastly different than like the wisdom of, you know what, I'm really enjoying this, but I want to take my time to get to know the person because our intimacy will be better if the better we know each other and understand each other. And I want to feel at peace. When I try to get closer to this person, I want to feel peaceful. I don't want to feel nervous or awkward or, So that is the correct kind of wisdom. Take your time. And by time, there's no time limit on this. There's no, no, that's too fast, or that's all up to the situation in the moment. Okay, I don't have to say any more about this, but that's pretty clear reading. You've got strength to have the love that you want in your life. Okay, and let relationships be for the greater good of the whole, not just like something you two just selfishly have with each other. Let your energy like ignite the world. Okay, that is like where we want to be. Doesn't that feel good? Doesn't that feel exciting? Doesn't that feel like something you want to share with the world, to have that type of relationship? Okay, I'm not settling for less. You shouldn't either. Vikings wouldn't either. Vikings would take what they want, get what they want, go forth, get in the boat, go. Don't ask questions, don't confuse everything, and they would just do it. Okay, that's what we're doing here. So thanks for spending time with me, and I will see you soon.